Hello dear students, I hope you are doing great. We are here with the newest session of the modeling course. In this session, we'll get to know how to draw paths and our own landscapes. For example, I type street model, 20 meters, or a T intersection in Google. Okay? For example, we often need scenes like this in our work, where we draw an intersection like this. Or for example, let me search for this one too, so you can see it. It's not always an intersection, guys. Now an intersection is very easy. You draw a line like this, put a box like this, and that's it. In the middle, you can either detail it through Edit Poly or through lines. We can do a lot of things. This itself, for example, these are now material related. Now these are awful. We don't care about them at all. We are working with the model and the state we want to explain here. We can now make this very high quality. This is what I call a low poly state, guys. Look, it's a SketchUp model, I think. Yes, this is a low poly state where you put an initial presentation on it and add more detail if needed. Let me search again. This is also very good. For now, I don't want to draw an intersection in this exercise. I want to draw a path like this. Because these straight ones are easy, not challenging, because we use these in our projects. But for example, now there might be a question that I want to sketch this. Let me see this. Ah, good. I want to draw this. Let me search for this too. Okay. I go to the top view and put this on corner and smooth and come almost like this. Yes, they draw a path like this with the help of a line. Now we've drawn something. We could have put it corner. Okay, the next thing I do here, now I can assign, for example, sweep to it with the tools we learned here. Now you can either get the size of the sidewalk and its extrusion here, put it here, but it's not necessary. We can use bar here, for example. Okay, here I increase its value, and you can easily see that we were able to automatically create the width of our street. But guys, a problem arises at such times, and that is the texture problem. Because whenever we want to do modeling operations, we must pay special attention to texturing and material operations. If I bring the asphalt texture, for example, this one. Okay, I tried it there, I assigned it in the diffuse. Okay, now you see it doesn't show anything. You guys will definitely learn these in the material making and Corona courses. We will talk about it in detail. Only our problem now is that it doesn't show. It's enough to assign UVW map to it. I put it in the same planar state. I increase these two too. Okay? And I can now rotate it. I turn on snap and I can rotate it. But you see, no matter what you do, you can't place it here with this method. So we run into a problem. So this method doesn't work here. So I delete the sweep and we can use another technique. Okay, how does the method work? I'll put a plane, I go to the top view, let me straighten this part. Guys, I select this line, my snap is on, and I say set it with here. I also check it in the viewport to see if the nodes are in a straight line. Okay? And I go to the top view and draw this width of the street with a plane in this way. I don't want it to be too insignificant. This is enough. Okay? The next thing we do is that we must give enough segments to this, guys. Because if we duplicate it here like this, it will break in these sections that twist. Okay? Only guys, let's do something before I draw the road here. Let's do something. I take a copy of this, Control V from copy. Okay, I drag it this way. I also take a copy and drag it this way. Okay, now I select these quarters of my work. Okay, the corners of the work are almost here. I can even pull this a little further, like this shape. Yes, it's good. Because we dragged it, these guys have to take copies from the beginning, and a copy this way, a copy that way. Now for drawing sidewalks and curbs, this line could be needed. Okay, we were filtering its corners. I select this. Yes, that's it. I select the fillet, and I say in this way, to this. Yes. In this way, I soften these corners. I don't want it to be that sharp, because we want our road to have a rounded shape, like the picture you see here. If you don't do this, it will go like this. It's good. Only check these parts, guys. Make sure adaptive is ticked in the interpolation section. If you don't, it will cause problems. Okay, in the next step, I disable this. In the next step, I select it, and again I use the modifier PathDeform WSM. I hit Pick Path and select the path. Now its axis, I think, is X. Okay? Now see, this came and sat exactly here. Only before I do this, we said to give our plane a lot of segments. Because these parts that want to turn will break if they don't have enough segments. This is a point that you should pay attention to. Okay, good. Only I need to assign this now, right? I assign a UVW map to it. We have to rotate the planer. I click on the gizmo once, see where it is. Now it doesn't matter if it's like this. Okay? I only reduce its value so much that these parts reach each other. See, I want this. I want to be like this. Yes. Then, for example, we can put curbs on these sides, and later build the sidewalk. Yes, I drag it to here. I check it in the top view again. In this way, I select it, I pull it a little lower. Good. Okay. After our work is finished, I can now stage this here. See, like this. If you remember, we said that some shapes have the ability to be staged in this way, like this example. Because, for example, in stucco work, we used to do this, and the flower in the middle would be ruined. Okay, yes, almost like this. Okay, only guys, you know how these parts became? This problem that is here, see? It's like the width of these things. If I reduce it a little from this part, see? These no longer collide here. Okay, now there is a way. There are many ways. We can, for example, see, by adding segments, we can fix these parts. Okay, how? I come to the PathDeform, I select my line, this one. Okay, now I can even isolate it. Activate refine, and hit it with a few refines. These quarters should be very soft, and have enough vertices when they turn. Okay, great. If we want to improve this UVW map, I want to see that line from these sides. Yes, that's how I shock them. So that these are seen. Guys, here I can increase the segments of my plane. The more segments it has. See, I put 1,000 segments for it, and this prevents it from breaking. Because I don't think we have another way in this example. Yes. Let's see now what's wrong with this part. This part. I can now. If you remember, we kept it. See, I select it. Because in this example, you should know that if we don't do that part like that, what will happen? Let's see how it is with chamfer. With chamfer, it also throws a shape like this. But it's not okay. Chamfer didn't work here. I hit Ctrl Z. I'll give it a fillet. Guys, now there might be a question. Well, what did you do that you were updating the line there, and it's happening the same way? See guys, these facilities are of course related to polyform, because it's dependent on this line. It automatically updates in this section. We don't have a problem like this. Now I don't care about this. But see, for example, if I select this, whenever we are in our work environment, in the control panel section, that is, in this section that shows these modifiers, these guys are arranged. That is, now when this is on top, it means it has priority over this. But when I go back now to the lower option, or, for example, in this option, you see that it doesn't show the effect of the upper option. To avoid this problem, we must use this option. See, show end result means show the result at the same moment. Okay, so now when I am here, I can even easily make this bigger or smaller, and see the result there at the same moment. We move many of our examples, and works forward in this way. That show result option is really a professional option in modeling. I think I'll do that example for you next session. Here we have a problem, guys. We have to find it. I have to select my line, I go to the shape state, I select this, I isolate it. Let's see what problem we have here. My problem is that I have to put this in the corner state. I want it to be sharp. This is also corner. I think this is automatically correct. Yes, we solved the problem of this part. Yes, good. If we want this part to be a little softer, I can here. Okay, the next thing I do is that I build the sidewalks, for example. Now guys, I'll delete one of these for now. I take another copy of this again. Ctrl V. Okay, if this comes like this, see? It won't work for us. So what should we do? We have to get an outline from it. See? I select all of it in this way, until it draws an extension. That is, its extension is almost okay. I close it. Only guys, the copy that I take from this must be detached. Wait a moment, see what I do. Now let me close this first. We shouldn't be confused. Wait a moment. I put this on the shape state. Okay, one more. Because this line is dependent on this. It's exactly like, for example, if we give it to this, the same thing happens. It's not a problem. I select the line again, I take an outline of it to the outside. This is its outside. Almost. I close the outline. I come to this section, attach, and I attach this line from it, I detach it. Sorry. Yes. Like this. Okay, now I'll detach this later. We only need the line. I can build the rest of this platform with sweep. I hit delete. Okay, see, after it's deleted, this sweep deform no longer has any effect on this. Okay, now I can build the sidewalk in the form of a sweep, with the line that we have here. And I give it a bar. A normal square bar. If you extend this now, see, problems arise when guys tighten this angle like this. Okay, now you might say, what should we do to solve that problem? First of all, it rarely happens that the path we draw comes to twist. Because these problems are in the heart of 3D, in the tools, for example, in the cert, you might have this problem which we use to solve with scripts, and we'll tell you how to solve it in the next sessions. But if these problems arise, don't get too involved. You can see the angle here. Like here, the angle is very neat, even here. Because here it collides with each other, these problems arise. Okay, it caused a problem, guys. Let's see where the problem is. I'll delete its sweep. Okay, I isolate it. See, this part is ruined. Do you know the reason, guys? The reason is that when I was selecting this, in this part, these didn't reach each other here. It's not a problem, we can connect these to each other. Connect is on, from between this, good. I won't stop this example. I'll come and solve it. You know, this is also from here. That's it. Yes, I think it's right now. He says, let's go back. I'll come and give it sweet. We still have this problem. Okay, these parts are solved. Let's see, the problem seems to be in this part. It doesn't matter, we'll solve that too. Let's see what the problem is. Again, I come to edit spline. See these parts. We shouldn't have done this. Let me do something else. See, I select all of these. I put its mode on corner. Okay, then I'll come and fuse it. And now 21 volts will zero this problem. I think it will be eradicated. Because if we have unnecessary vertices, now when we say, for example, guys, come and work on low poly, that's why. Because we see, for example, a vertex, we have extra vertices. It comes and ruins the shape there. It doesn't matter. I come and draw this, and even if our part is ruined, I'll fix this somehow later. Its angle. Okay, this is from this section. I hit mesnom, I assign a sidewalk material to it, I assign my UVW map, the point, and now because we don't have the challenge of how to place these, see, no problem arises here. This is good. But here, for example, in asphalt, we had to use PathDeform. Okay, great, okay, and you can place one on that side, but it doesn't work like this. I take this sweep, I copy it, again. I have to take an outline to the other side from our line. I put this on the shape state, and I do the same repetitive steps. Outline is off. And now we come and select these. We only need this line. The rest, okay, great, I assign sweep to it, and this almost has a similar problem. Let's fix its line. See it. Okay, this part became like this. No, it's not a problem. Let's solve this problem first. Let's see. I give it sweep. Yes. This is host star y. Okay. Only why did this become like this? Sweep. I delete the sweep, so these are our main lines. We shouldn't ruin them. We should have taken a copy of it. Birth changes. Destroyed it completely. Let me see if I can fix these. I delete these. This is for outline. It seems we didn't take a copy of outline there. Only themselves. Okay guys, we can also put its sweep in. See, here you can, for example, adjust whether ash goes to this side or that side. Okay, our work is almost ready. The point. Very good. Now we can only put a curb for it. Let's see if this sat in its place. Let's see by clicking here. Yes, that's it. I think it's great. Let's not click on it much more. Yes, this is great. Now there is one more curb. Okay, I delete both the UV and the sweep. And again, I assign this sweep that I had here. See, I'm playing with its places. Now we say, what was sweep that you assigned? Let me tell you now. Let's fix these. I give it a UV now in this way. Yes, almost solved. It's not very important. With the help of sweep, we were also able to fix our curbs. And then guys, this became a little small. Let me change its extinction. We didn't do anything special. That switch was coming from a curb. Let's just look at a view of it to see its extinction. I say I'll draw one here myself. Let this line stay here. Okay, I'm going to the front view. Let's draw it a little bigger. Maybe, yes, for example, this way it's good to have a little twist. It looks more natural. I select this, I go to its sweep, the custom selection state, and I hit pick. You see, it's edited at the same moment. Now the application of this option, guys, if I want to, for example, see, make it bigger or smaller here, it's edited there at the same moment. Okay, its size is good. I don't want to do anything with it anymore. Only let's make its UVW map a little bigger, almost in this way. Now I can bring it a little lower. Yes, in this way. Exactly, we can do this on this side too. See, sweep along with its UVW map is a copy. Again here, a click on it, another control, V comes one more time. This control, V, a copy from it, UV is deleted, sweep is deleted, and now here, 2 times these 2 copies are mounted on this line. So it's enough to do these things once. Guys, now you might say that the process is long, but guys, we have done a really big work. You have now learned something that you can easily, with the help of this method, come and do the best states of your streets and landscapes with the same method, operations of modeling and texturing it. Now that our work is finished, we can, for example, confirm this, how well we were able to detail this. For example, I can now give it a chamfer too. I think chamfer won't be copied here anymore. Yes, these should now be completely edit, polished, covered later, and in the same way and details we can move the projects forward. We can put our building here, put trees here, put cars, a lot more options. And guys, in the last part of this project, if I want to, we did these things with the help of material. See, I gave the curb, for example, with material if I wanted to. For example, with an object, you can find the curb. I'll put these in the same, inside this scene. I think it's session 13. With the help of the platform, we learned this. Okay, sorry. Okay. And with the help of Absar tools, align tools, line spacing tool, its work is exactly the same. See, when we hold it here, it shows, it says, if you want to put an object in such a path, you can easily do it with the help of this. Okay, now I hit pick pass, I select the path, I give the number. Only guys, what this has is that if you do things in the middle of the mosque, spread it, these numbers will fly away. Okay, this one once, add one, it will be seen. I hit fall, on, there is an option here to follow it. You see it came and placed it here one after another. Mr. Chai, in these twisted parts, it has a problem, which you can do manually. I hit apps high, and you see that the curb is placed here. Okay, again I take a copy of this line. The point, this light pole or tree, whatever you want to be in that path, tools, align, spacing tool, picks, any more, I don't think we need the follower. I reduce the number, 2 or 3 guys. It has a state. Either you hit this, or you don't. Most of these are more engaged with these two. Now for example, if you hit this, it is applied on the edges. For example, from the middle. It doesn't become right in the middle. It goes to its edge. Here. For example, there are special options. See, you want to give them a distance from each other. I don't want to now. I disabled this. Let's see these stairs together. They are to be separated from each other, or to be placed in this way. After we hit apply, it's okay. These are placed here. And now I can play with it, guys. Now you might ask, well, how did this get placed from the middle here? Because the case was down. So it's definitely one of the requirements of our work that if the topics didn't go, we'll bring them manually. See, I say, align. Its P should go, yes, it should be like this. Then, I'll bring it myself. You know why its P is like this? The reason is that these were several separate jecks. We attached them. Its P can't distinguish where the middle half is. We'll do it manually. If they do that work again, these problems won't happen. Apply. And this is how beautifully we were able to make this street ourselves. Only it's not dependent on this. You guys should definitely come and change these manually later. For example, if you want to move it, I'm doing it. I'm in love with this line. Yes, this model is. That's how much light poles you don't want. That's enough. Then we can, for example, change these places and some of them manually. Or, for example, guys, you can draw a power line for this. See, I isolate this. Okay, you'll be placed like this. Yes, I'll also take a copy of it to this side. Now if we want to draw the wire with line, these will be, but the abzar that I use is frinds. It's interesting. I turn on snap, I put it on 3-dimensional, I say sir this, these, I increase its trans a little. I also decrease this. Yes, I want something to come bent like this. We don't want this neat thing. Yes, I want this way. Or for example, let's practice those models anymore. See, now I have removed its things. Its intensity. Snap is not working either. Yes, in this way, see, now that our work is finished, again their stems come in the middle. I put it here, and I don't want close test. Let's hit interpolish adaptive. And that in the rendering section in renderable. In view portal thickness increases. And in this way, you can also draw the teams of these arrows, in the same way. Now if we want, for example, it shouldn't be this model either. Let's see with arc. I put it on snap 3. I also put it here. Let's see. It does that model too. That's exactly the same anymore. We can also do it in exactly the same way. For example, take a 2 copy. So this is also from the techniques of making electric poles itself. This modeling is also very easy. You should definitely know this now. Now I don't care about this part. This is also exactly a line. You draw it like this. Air random viewport. See, exactly with the same technique. I know that the model brings a picture of it. In several stages this hard axis comes out negative. I said for now, don't put time for such things. Learn more how to draw a plan of these. Now, if I want, for example, to draw this, I have an easy work. Really line snap fall. Another time I'll turn off these with its things. It's enough for us to have a click here. Let's have hills for the rest. You don't want a broken one for you. We'll draw it clean ourselves. For example, I'll put one here. Then, we have to grow up. Let's see with it. Yes, we can do it. I know that ear preview is on. In the earic axis, you want it to be moth. See the axis. I want it to be Greg. I'll put it like this. Skill also says we are grown. Grown. Its scale shows that this 9 becomes, see this. Of course I think not anymore. It's right. If we wanted to grow little by little, with the help of the same, and its x is also that. Just the thing that will become, see both its x, we say it gets a little bigger. Little by little, and even that grash, my mind that doesn't work, this is enough now, I'll increase its number. Tribute has come. Okay, I put it on the subject of slope. Whatever slope I drew, I'll bring this way. I'll check that the adaptive sticks are eaten, because it's a very important option in such things. Okay? And my last work is that I'll come and touch these together, so that if we want now, it's cool sir guys, let's give this a plan, with these be and give, but we don't want, we said Bolin, and these stories are our last choice to count. For example, drawing a shape like this. How much time did it take us? We could have put the same one in the project, but for children who feel they have problems in such things, the best exercises are exactly these. Start from simple things. See how good it became. I don't just want it to come forward. I'll increase its segments a little. There should be segments in the height, so that it softens. This wall is enough that if we want to give it a chamber too, I put several people as always on chamber front, so that it doesn't create destruction in other places. It's on meeting uniform, and it's less than that part. I can install the modifier read topology here. I don't know if we said it in the previous video or not. The installation method also needs to be downloaded from these Iranian sites. SAS. Download it from here. Version 22, 21 service, back 1, 2, and 3 are also here. If we work with Math 22, easily hit this. Great facilities and kids. Read topology gives me in the heart of our projects. We'll use it after enough. Here, a partial acquaintance I want to have with it until we take our project forward. Okay, here, see, now this part has come to itself. In Vasmus given and approximately terraces, there is doing its work well. Kids see, all the fractures have been removed. I'm coming here, I'm deleting it to Vasmus, and here the modifier read. And I attribute it to it after you installed it. You have accessibility to it in the Modifier list. The types of forms are showed here. Now I don't have much to do with it. With its options only here we have in mind the number of faces that you want to add here. I'll put it for example 6000. As soon as we hit this option, see how first class you were able to row topology. And now I attribute edit poly to it once. And I also attribute a gray material to it. 4000 I delete it. Again, a review project, 2000. Because if we give too much now, it's still less, this doesn't need it. Because it doesn't have that much softness. We can remove a little of this fracture. The work is 1000. Okay, now I'll review it again. Okay, now the hooky, this is also from the introduction of Modifier Read Roshi, a modeling of the road and Lancy. Okay, to the end of this training session. We learned great materials in this session that are needed for continuous and uninterrupted practice to the next training session.